George wanted to get Maggie a new pacifier, but she didn't like any of them. In the end, they had no choice but to take back the old one, the same one the dog had already taken. Interestingly, even the dog didn't want the new ones. Meanwhile, Homer had snuck out early, completely avoiding any responsibility with the baby. Marge was furious. She later discovered that Homer wasn't off handling anything important. He had secretly gone out to play poker. Worse yet, he was cheating using Lenny's glasses. Thanks to that trick, he won a lot of money. But just as his conscience kicked in and he decided to leave, a pregnant woman entered the elevator with him, and they got stuck. At that critical moment, Homer had no choice but to help deliver the baby himself. He vaguely recalled some emergency training from long ago, and against all odds, he actually delivered the baby. The woman was deeply grateful. She even asked Homer to help care for the baby, and named the child Little Homer. Homer immediately felt a sense of responsibility. He brought over a bunch of things his own kids no longer used, and offered to help out. Before he knew it, Homer had grown deeply attached to the baby. Even when taking care of Maggie, his mind kept wandering to Little Homer. He even secretly went to the mall to buy things for the baby, only to bump into Marge there. Worried about being found out, he quickly made up a story, but Marge grew suspicious, thinking he was gambling again. She followed his trail and finally heard his voice, and discovered him earnestly taking care of someone else's child. They all sat down and came clean. Though Marge was upset he had been hiding all this from her, she saw his sincerity and eventually agreed to let him visit Little Homer occasionally. But Homer became increasingly obsessed. He even took 4 kids, including Little Homer, to the zoo. Maggie and Little Homer did not get along at all. The mini Homer was even more of a troublemaker than Bart. Homer got stuck in the monkey enclosure and was completely useless. It was Maggie who saved herself with her wits. That was the last straw for Marge. She told Homer to stay away from that bad influence. Fortunately, Little Homer's real father finally returned. Homer had to say goodbye with tears in his eyes. Feeling down, he returned home, only to be surprised by a small hug from Maggie. That warm gesture helped him rediscover his true role as a father. As for Little Homer, he had already turned into a complete little devil.